All right, welcome to The Explainer. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you are your own worst enemy when it comes to hitting your goals? Well, today we're going to unpack a pretty radical framework from Adekoya Abdulaziz. It suggests that the reality you're living in isn't fixed at all. It's a structure, and guess what? You're the architect. Let's get into it.
So, we all have these big goals we're chasing, right? But how many times do we get stuck? We hit a wall, and we tell ourselves it's because we don't have enough time or money or the right connections. This way of thinking suggests that the real obstacle is something else entirely, something we're actually doing to ourselves.
Just take a second and really think about that. What's the reason you give yourself? Is it time? Money? Connections? The argument here is that none of those things are the real obstacle. No, the real problem is a habit of thinking that's keeping you stuck in place.
And this habit, it's got a name: self-shooting. Think of it like this. You're aiming your energy, but in completely the wrong direction. It's like when you want to write a book, but you spend hours and hours just worrying if anyone will like it, instead of, actually writing. You're giving all this relevance to a worry that doesn't structurally support your goal at all.
Okay, so if we want to stop shooting ourselves in the foot, we need a massive mental shift. This whole framework is built on a really simple but incredibly powerful idea. Reality isn't something that just happens to you. It's a structure that you are actively building every single moment.
And this is the core paradigm shift right here. The old way of thinking is passive, right? Life happens, we just react to it. But the definitionist view? That's active. It says reality is a structure, and it's our thoughts and actions that are holding it in place, that are stabilizing it. And hey, if we're the ones holding it together, that means we have the power to change it.
The tool for making this huge transformation is called definitionism. It's all about consciously, intentionally using definition to build your world. So instead of just accepting things the way they are, you actively define the reality you want to live and operate in. You stop being a tenant in your own life, and you become the architect.
So how do we actually build this new reality? The master tool for this is something called the pattern. And honestly, this is a total game changer. The pattern isn't some checklist you follow, it's an identity you step into. It's someone you literally become. So put simply, a pattern is the stable identity of the person who has already succeeded. You have to ask yourself, what does the version of me who has already achieved this goal, what do they think like? How do they act? The key is, you don't wait to reach the goal to become that person. You become that person now, and that makes achieving the goal pretty much inevitable.
And this is why saying I am pattern is so much more than just a positive affirmation. It's a command. It's a command to your own system. You're basically structurally integrating all the intelligence and all the authority of that successful version of you into your being, right here, right now.
So what does it actually mean to inhabit the pattern? Well, it means aligning every single part of yourself with that successful identity. Your thoughts, your behaviors, your decisions, and yep, even your emotions. They all have to match the person who has already crossed the finish line.
Now, living as your pattern isn't just random guesswork. It operates on a few key principles. You can think of it like you're installing a brand new operating system for your life, one that's designed for one single purpose: to achieve your goal.
Okay, first rule is conviction. Now, this isn't about just being stubborn or sticking your head in the sand. It's about making a conscious, deliberate choice to make all the other non-aligned options totally irrelevant. You can see the other paths, you can acknowledge they exist, and then you deliberately just scale their importance down to zero.
Next up, we've got alignment. And here's the part that's kind of counterintuitive. You don't achieve alignment by trying to add a bunch of new, good habits. You actually achieve it by subtracting contradiction. Once you stop that self-shooting we talked about, once you get rid of the actions that don't serve your goal, alignment is the natural state that's just left over.
And finally, there's support. This one flips the whole script on its head. Support isn't something you have to go out and hunt for. Nope, it's a guaranteed consequence. The idea is, if your goal is truly possible, if it's a real thing, then the resources, the people, the ideas needed to get it done, what this calls the cooperative components, they must also exist. And by embodying the pattern, you make yourself able to finally see them and attract them. This all brings us to a really critical distinction. We get trapped by validity. We entertain a doubt because, hey, it seems plausible. We listen to a distraction because it sounds logical. But the pattern doesn't care about validity. It only asks one question. Is this relevant? Does this thought, this action, structurally support my pattern? If the answer's no, it's just noise. It's irrelevant.
So, when you truly get this, when you really embody this framework and start living as your pattern, something pretty incredible starts to happen. All those obstacles that used to stop you dead in your tracks, they become structurally irrelevant.
So what about your doubts? Well, a realized pattern has already succeeded. Doubt is completely irrelevant.
A lack of funds? The pattern commands the resources it needs. They're a guaranteed part of the system. So, irrelevant.
No support? No connections? By its very definition, a pattern is a supported system. Irrelevant.
And what about a lack of time? The pattern commands time. It's not a victim of the clock. So, yeah, irrelevant.
So after all that, what really stopped you? According to this framework, the answer is profound. It's nothing. Nothing stopped you. All those other concerns were just noise, structurally irrelevant to the version of you who had already won.
And that's the ultimate takeaway here. You are not a victim. You are a complete, you are a supported, you are a realizable system. So the only real question left is the one you have to answer for yourself. What will you build?